Okay, Pisces Rising, in around 18 months, you might understand what this reading was really about. I'm Sook Boy, you're awesome. Let's talk about it. If you were around, think about the time period between 2007 and 2009. This was the last time that the South Node moved into your 6th house of Leo and the North Node moved into your 12th house of Aquarius. Now, I'm not saying by any means that you'll be experiencing the same thing as you did back then. You've obviously developed and grown in many ways, but you can use this time period to somehow anchor yourself into context and give you some clues about what's ahead. Now, in late July, we saw the nodes shift back into this 6th and 12th house axis. It's very subtle. You probably haven't noticed it. You haven't felt it yet. It becomes more significant over the next 18 months because this is where we will experience, or you will experience, the majority of eclipses in the Leo and Aquarius axis, the 6th and the 12th. Eclipses typically are symbolic of major beginnings and major endings in your life, and it's relevant to the houses and the signs that occupy this area of your chart. Now, the 6th and the 12th axis is known as the health axis. The 6th house is speaking to your daily habits, the tasks you do every day, the daily jobs. So not your career, but what are the tasks that actually make up your career on a daily basis? What are your rituals? What are your routines? In other words, the 6th house very much speaks to how you treat your body on a daily basis and your health. Whereas the 12th house is more psychological. That's a lot more to do with your psychological health. Now, additionally, your chart ruler Jupiter is also in this 6th house of Leo. Because Jupiter is your chart ruler, it rules your 1st house of Pisces, you're a Pisces rising. That rules over your body, your appearance, how you interface with your reality, how you show up in any given moment. If you want to get woo-woo about it, it's your field or your aura. Now, not only does it rule the 1st house, it rules the 10th house of Sagittarius, which is your career, which is your general life path forward, your future direction, your public reputation, what you subjectively perceive as successful. Jupiter is asking you to expand and explore all of these themes, and it's really putting a lot of attention on how you spend your actual time. How do you allocate, if time is a resource, how are you allocating your time every single day, and what does your lifestyle look like? And how does that contribute to a sense of self? And how does that contribute to your career, your life direction forward, public reputation, achievement, recognition, yada, yada, yada. Now, contrary to popular belief, Jupiter isn't necessarily about luck or opportunity. It's about meaning. And while Jupiter is moving through the 6th house, it's asking you, what does your daily habits equate to? What do they mean? Where do you find your perfect day? Are you working towards the perfect day? Do you enjoy your lifestyle, in other words? So with Jupiter and the South Node moving into this 6th house, there's going to be a lot of change, and you might need to learn to adapt and let go of certain habits, certain tasks that you take on a daily basis. Jupiter in the 6th house can be rather overwhelming. It's very more is more kind of planet. So are you taking on too much? Will you feel overwhelmed in the future? And the North Node is asking you, think about the psychological health of your future self. Over the next 18 months, and as the South Node transits through this 6th house and we experience eclipses, it basically wants to incinerate any coping mechanisms. It wants to incinerate or get rid of or audit anything that isn't working for you. And instead, it wants to focus your direction to that 12th house of Aquarius. Now, the North Node in this area has an insatiable hunger, and it's an instinct of momentum. Whatever's going on in the 6th house of Leo could become quite stagnant, and anything too familiar you might have to surrender to or let go of as you move into this 12th house, which is basically amplifying Aquarius 12th house themes. Again, the 12th house is very complicated. It's a psychological house, and it's about your sense of unconscious urgency. It's your sense of self-undoing, how are you sabotaging yourself potentially. Sometimes this axis can speak to substance abuse, or what are you escaping, what are you avoiding in your life psychologically. The 12th house also speaks to isolation and solitude, you working behind the scenes, what you're doing when no one's watching. The North Node could ask you to withdraw from certain friends and experiment with meeting a new community, or a generalized detox with current social situations that you feel pressure to perform under. It also speaks to rehabilitation, hospitals, retreats. How do you fill your cup? How do you feel in touch with the universe? It's a very spiritual house as well. So in a nutshell, think about the 6th house like an audit or an incineration of all the coping mechanisms that somehow hold you back or make you feel stagnant? Are you prioritizing your time, for example? Whereas the North Node is amplifying you to get more in touch with your psychological health and potentially a spiritual ritual. For the next 18 months, both of these houses will be activated. Now, Leo and Aquarius have particular energetic signatures. Think about Leo like your sovereignty, your autonomy, the respect that you garner from your efforts. You taking the initiative, you inspiring and motivating others with your leadership. Pisces Rising has an extraordinary capacity to show up and serve others. You really do take the initiative with care and sensitivity. And many of you may have actually associated your identity with this habit that you have. Now, is there anything holding you back from actually building a community of your own? The Aquarius 12th house is very much about hidden fears, doubts you might have around building your own community and potentially leading the charge in that regard, but not necessarily putting yourself above anyone, just contributing to a community, taking the initiative to do so. Maybe that means questioning the established traditions and habits that have run your life up until this point. Whereas the Leo is the cult of personality, the 12th house is the actual culture, the cultural zeitgeist that you contribute to. Again, Jupiter is so powerful in your chart. In the 6th house, you could be overwhelmed with needless tasks or tasks that need to become more efficient or refined in some way. For many of you, you could actually be overconfident with how much you're willing to take on. Now, the ruler of the North Node of Aquarius is currently in your 2nd house of Aries. The 2nd house of Aries is a money house. It's your livelihood. It's how you access resources. It's your financial independence. It's also speaking to what you consume, what you put into your body. So again, if there's avoidance, escapism, and you might be using substances or media or even your sex life, you might be forced to question that psychologically. What have you become attached to that allows you to avoid the 3D reality? What about your daily life has become performative because you're seeking some kind of validation or recognition from others? Is that version of yourself genuine? A gentle reminder, you don't actually have to be of utility to be loved. So a gentle reframe for this could be, have you become too available for others? Is it time to fill your own cup and become more accepting of your more unique, experimental, controversial, or rebellious traits? Now, as a thank you for watching this entire video, please feel free to send me a DM. I'll send you a coupon code for 30 Australian dollars off my natal and birth chart readings exclusively for new clients. Only love, positive vibes always. Hope that helps. Okay, bye.